Hey, what's up? I am Sam, and welcome to my Brick Lab. Today, I'm going to be showing off a mock of a mini Ultra Stealth Raider. So let's start with one of the bike builds. Now, the bikes are fairly simple, but to improve them, I did have to stretch out the bike a little bit, because in the Chinese knockoff version, the wheels couldn't spin. What I also did was replace their two bar hinges with a bar hinge and a click hinge, so that when it attaches to the body of the USR, it's a firm connection, but you can also pull it off pretty easily. And other than that, I mean, it's a pretty simple bike. I also added in the mudguards, which weren't present on their version, or even in the large version, because I thought they just looked cool, and quite frankly, they look a lot better than, say, this. It kind of gives the build a more cohesive look. So, on to my favorite part, the jet. So the jet was my favorite part of the build, and it was also one that required the most work in order to make it playable. For example, on the Chinese knockoff version, the hinge for the cockpit was attached by a single clip hinge, which means that if you tried to open the cockpit, either the cockpit would fall off or the entire front of the model would fall apart. Either or, your pick. So what I also did was fixed up these little wings here, so that the blades were actually attached to the wings, just like in the full-size model. I also added in a second sword here to make it look more like it was part of more like the one in the show. The second sword isn't part of the original model, but I really think it improves the look here. And of course, in order to reset the swords, all you need to do is close the wings. They'll pop back into place automatically. And if you know anything about this type of cockpit, it's really hard to get a minifigure out, so what I did was use a flat plate in one of these seat pieces so that the Ninja can sit in comfortably without falling out, and it's also easy to remove. So, on to the main body of the Ultra Stealth Raider, which, ironically enough, was one that I had to make the least amount of changes to. I mean, sure, I had to fix up the cockpit, just like the jet, and it's pretty much the same there. And I did have to fix the mudguards here so that they weren't running into the edges, like in the Chinese knockoff version. And I did have to fix the wheel connections here so that they look cleaner and less like a Lego train wreck. But other than that, the set was actually fairly faithful to the Chinese version. But my favorite part is that it can connect to form the massive Ultra Stealth Raider. Now to me, I just love the build altogether. And I'm really glad I discovered that Chinese knockoff. I mean, they put like minimal effort into making it an actual set. And if you buy that set, you're going to be disappointed because first of all, it's not Lego. And second of all, it's just going to fall apart. I mean, honestly, buy my version. I mean, I'm not selling it, but if I was, buy it. On second thought, I could just make you a tutorial for it. If you want that, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, I've had a lot of fun showing this model off, and I hope you enjoy. Man, I really need to think of some clever catchphrase.